It does not happen often these days, but the Biden administration today welcomed a small victory from the Supreme Court. In a 5-4 decision, the justices ruled the administration may end the former president's so-called Remain in Mexico policy. The policy, formerly known as the Migrant Protection Protocols, MPP, requires asylum seekers to wait in Mexico while their claims are decided. As the New York Times points out, after the policy went into effect in 2019, tens of thousands of people waited in unsanitary tent encampments for immigration hearings. There have been widespread reports of sexual assault, kidnapping, and torture. Tonight, the Department of Homeland Security issued a statement saying it will terminate the program as soon as legally permissible. We're pleased to welcome the junior senator from California, Alex Padilla. Senator, an immigration attorney told the Texas Tribune the Biden administration can immediately stop enforcing the program. But the Supreme Court's ruling leaves the door open for Texas and other states to continue pressing to force the administration to continue the program. Senator, do you believe the administration is prepared to stop enrolling new migrants and begin the wind down of those who do still remain stuck in Mexico?
I do believe so, and I think they have said as much. You referenced the department's statement today that they would end the program as soon as legally feasible, which should be much sooner rather than later. At least it's good to be back with you, and I think the way you described today's ruling is right on. There's that saying, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. We were prepared for the worst. This may be a small win, but it's a win nonetheless with so much more work to do. Let's terminate the Remain in Mexico program. Title 42 should be next. There's so much of the Trump-era immigration policy that needs to be undone. So we can go about the business, both in the executive branch and the Biden administration and in Congress, to modernize our immigration laws, because it's our broken immigration system that's leading to the tragedies that we see at the border, that we saw in San Antonio and so many others.
Let's talk about what we saw in San Antonio, Senator. More than 50 migrants found dead in a sweltering tractor trailer. Today, 4 migrants were killed in Texas as authorities chase alleged human smugglers. The Washington Post editorial board writes, quote, the absence of any workable legal system that would admit migrants systematically in numbers that would meet the U.S. labor market's demand is the original sin of the chaos at the border. That is Congress's bipartisan failure, a symptom of systemic paralysis for many years. Senator, what is being done right now to prevent these deaths and fix this system?
Look, at least as you know, immigration reform has been one of my top priorities since I came into the Senate a year and a half ago. Can't tell you how many hours I put into bipartisan negotiations last year. A lot of one-on-one conversations with my Republican colleagues, trying to work with the parliamentarian in the Senate, moving the reconciliation process that was unsuccessful. We've been pushing the White House to do more. I guess good news is talks have reopened between Democrats and Republicans, but whether it's the 10th anniversary of DACA and the ongoing limbo that dreamers live in, this tragedy in San Antonio, and more. These are just reminders of how broken the immigration system is and the urgent need for us to finally act. The reason you have these tragedies is because the lawful migration pathways just aren't there. It's not working. And so for all my Republican colleagues who, beat their chest and scream from the mountaintops about quote unquote illegal immigration or irregular migration, well, the way to fix it is to fix the legal migration pathways. And don't just take our words for it. We're talking about the economy each and every day. Every business leader, every economist is telling us that the labor shortage in America is leading to higher prices. We need immigrant labor in the jobs that Americans just won't do.
Senator, pivoting back to the court, as we said, today was a rare victory for the White House when it comes to the Supreme Court. And there are many Democrats demanding significant reform to the court. Where do you stand on that?
Look, just look at what the Supreme Court has done this session and in recent years. This Supreme Court has decimated voting rights. If you go look back to 2013, but this session alone, to undo the protections of Roe v. Wade, which stood for nearly 50 years, to make it harder for state and local governments to improve gun safety in their communities, Just today, I represent California. We're on the front lines of the climate crisis. For this extreme conservative Supreme Court to tie the hands of agencies that are charged with protecting our environment, I think sets a bad tone and message for a lot of other policy areas. So reform is absolutely needed at the Supreme Court. It's also reminded that Congress needs to do its job. When the Supreme Court starts undoing established policy, then we need to act to embed those rights, starting with Roe v. Wade, into federal law. And it should be a wake-up call, an alarm going off when justices who, when coming through for confirmation, said one thing, but once they're on the bench are saying and doing another. America deserves better.
Let me ask you, Senator, because I've heard you talk about more accountability, ethics from Supreme Court justices. What exactly can Congress do about that? How can they achieve that?
Yeah, well, again, those conversations are happening in real time, and hope that in the weeks ahead there may be measures coming through. As a member of the Judiciary Committee, trust me, people are pretty livid at not just the rulings and the policy outcomes, but the rationale that these extremist Supreme Court justices use to justify their decisions. In the prior panel, you had a conversation about some of the case that came out today. If it applied to other policy areas, it's not just environmental protection that is jeopardized and undermined. It's a whole lot of other issues. The rationale the Supreme Court used to undo Roe v. Wade, in the near term, if you listen to Clarence Thomas's opinion, he's calling on other litigation to undo access to contraception, undo marriage equality, and so much more. And so, yes, we need to buttress the confirmation process, pass ethics reforms, because there's conflicts of interest at the Supreme Court today. And again, America deserves better.
Senator Alex Padilla, thank you so much for being with us.